Ladies and gentlemen, it just dawned on me. It just dawned on me based off of something specifically I just ended up seeing in the chat. And it says it's all a money thing for Vegas, so they don't lose their ass when Bills win on Sunday. And I'd shout out to Relic 187 for pointing this out, because you know what? It does make a little bit of sense if you were to ask me. Can we just go on ahead and attempt to fathom how much money has been pouring in on this Buffalo Bills and Baltimore Ravens game, and how many people you think have put their hard-earned money on the Baltimore Ravens to win this game? I would say outside of Bills fans, vast majority of the NFL world is probably dropping bags on the Baltimore Ravens to win this game. And as Relic ultimately ended up pointing out, Vegas absolutely never loses. So, with that logic in mind, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that I know the Buffalo Bills, all they need to do is look forward to their trip down to Arrowhead the week afterwards, baby. I think that is a conversation a lot of us need to have, baby. I think they need to, man. I think they need to, dude. You know what? Like, anytime that we look at specific big games, right? Like, money is pouring in on one specific favorite. Vegas never loses. Vegas is just like, damn, man, we're going to have to close down some casinos if those fools ultimately end up beating the Buffalo Bills. Not in our house, ladies and gentlemen. Not in our house. Bills by 10. Bills by 10. That's exactly what Vegas is crafting together. We already know that we have the Zebras on our side too, ladies and gents. We already know that we have it. Let me see. Hold up, guys. Have a text real fast. I need to address. Okay. Anyway, let's go on ahead and chat. Let's talk a little bit expectations. Let's talk a little bit of expectations here and there, folks. It's the Vegas thing is funny, but largely that's a joke, right? I think it's going to be a battle between both teams, and we're going to have to unpack a couple of things on today's episode. Welcome to another edition of Dom Mafia Live. You did read that title correctly. We are going to be discussing specific players that I believe need to step up in order for this team to walk out of the divisional round, remain undefeated at home, and book a ticket to the AFC Championship. And largely, a lot of those players just so happen to be players that were either playing through an injury, and also players specifically on the defense that were sitting out, right? Because I always like reminding everybody that this team was missing the most important defensive players we had on this squad, arguably some of the best. Matt Milano was not there. He was still on the IR. Bernard was injured. Taron Johnson, our slot corner, was injured. Taylor Rapp was injured. Shakir was playing with a sprained ankle. Josh Allen had a broken hand, and it was just brought to my attention and reminded to me that James Cook was playing through a turf toe injury during that game as well. One in particularly that he ended up suffering against the Jacksonville Jaguars the week before. So, on paper, we are in a great situation because I like looking at years past to really remind myself how grateful we should be leading up into this game on Sunday. Last year, folks, we were sitting there desperately doing whatever we could to find anybody that was willing to play the linebacker position last year during the game, right? Had AJ Klein, Balin Spector, who's an absolute liability from this team in the first place. Sorry, my sinus has been acting up, baby. I don't know what it is. I'm allergic to all the bad takes when people tell me that the Bills aren't winning on Sunday. That's what it is, folks. I'm allergic to bad takes, ladies and gents. That's precisely what it is. But I'm feeling really, really confident. And on today's episode, we are going to discuss some players that I believe really need to step up in order for us to bring home the victory. How's everyone feeling, Bills Mafia? Let me get a spam Go Bills in the chat. I need this energy up. Spam Go Bills in the chat right damn now as I tell you about today's sponsor, and that just so happens to be William Mattar Car Accident Attorneys. Folks, I never wish this on absolutely anybody. If you are ever in a car accident, if it does happen and you find yourself hurt, you have to do yourself a favor and get the right representation, and that just so happens to be William Mattar Law Offices. #1 attorney in the state of New York, at least if you were to ask me and several others. Highly recommend you reach out to him if you ever find yourself in that situation. I pray that you do not. However, you need that right representation if it comes through the door. Shout out William Mattar for being a proud sponsor of this channel. Spam Go Bills in the chat, guys. 212 of you on YouTube right now. 157 on YouTube, 58 of you on X. Shout out to everybody watching me on X. Let's make it happen. Go Bills in the channel is absolutely going insane. I love it. Bills win this time against the Chiefs because Sean is getting smarter and didn't use good playbooks against Denver in the red zone while Kansas City does the same. So this is pretty much our best year and our best opportunity. Does Dorian Williams play a big role this week? We got K Gritty coming in. Here's the deal, man. I don't think that Dorian Williams has much of a role, maybe 20, 30% of the snaps, if that. A lot of people have been asking, they're just like, why don't we just run a 4-3 defense, right? And that's specifically when we have 3 linebackers out there. But here's the deal. If you run a 4-3, then that means that Taron Johnson, arguably our best corner, like out on the field, is not on the field. So if you want Dorian Williams out there, sure. But here's the deal. Yes, he's pretty solid at stopping the run, but he's an absolute liability in pass coverage. If I was the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator, what I would do is if I saw the Buffalo Bills rolling out Dorian Williams in a 4-3 defense, what I'm doing is I am targeting Dorian Williams in pass coverage, and I am absolutely torching him with Zay Flowers, with Mark Andrews, with Isaiah Likely. So I don't think that he's going to be out there. I think he's going to be more of a situational guy. If he makes plays, that's fantastic. But listen, I think that a lot of us owe Matt Milano an apology for the past couple of weeks, because after several conversations with Kevin, after rewatching these games, having conversations after the fact, guys, Matt Milano's back. He is back. His speed is there, his change of direction, his dominance in run defense, his dominance in pass coverage, absolutely insane. What I think this Buffalo Bills team needs to do is just make sure that we're really beefy up in the middle. And remember, guys, listen, it doesn't even go as deep into what injuries we were sustained or that we had sustained during week 4. It's also some of the moves that we made during right before the trade deadline or bringing on extra guys, specifically within our defensive line. Jordan Phillips and Quentin Jefferson in the middle being rotational pieces for this defensive line have been integral. Both of them have been absolutely stellar at being able to bottle up the run in the middle, right? Russo, same thing with Epinesa, and even Von Miller have been doing a fantastic job at not making it very possible for quarterbacks to roll out right and being able to stop the run after the fact. Matt Milano being out there is a game changer, something that we wish that we had last year against the Kansas City Chiefs. He is going to be an X factor. And you know what? I think that is going to be the #1 player that I'm going to put out on today's edition of who are the players that need to step up for the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. And hands down, it needs to be Matt Milano. And I am very strongly opinionated toward this because his play on Sunday against the Denver Broncos was absolutely nuts. He was utilized as a spy for Bo Nix last game, right? Like he was deadly in run defending. He was deadly in overall pass coverage. He is going to be a key to this game defensively. You heard it here first. He's going to be a deadly, deadly person when it comes into that defense. Matt Milano, hands down, he's back, firing on all cylinders. He is going to be a key piece. I am calling for a massive game for Matt Milano, and I am calling for a couple of key stops against the Baltimore Ravens offense. I really, really am, and I cannot wait to see it. Relic is coming in saying, Aaron, until he does, which he doesn't. J-Way, Josh needs to activate GOAT mode this week. Let's go. J-Way's in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Folks, do me a favor, smash that like button if you haven't had an opportunity of doing so far. It's the easiest way to show some love. I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces in here. I'm seeing some newbies. So certainly let yourself be known. Introduce yourself in the chat. I always love understanding who is in here, who is showing love when they need to. All right? Look at that, man. Look at that. In fact, you know what? Let yourself be known. If you are a newbie in the live chat right now, you are brand new to the channel, please let us know where you are tuning in from, what team you are currently representing. And do you truly believe the Bills can actually defeat the Ravens? I'm a massive Bills fan, and I'm very nervous for this game. Taps 10-19. So Taps, so I'm going to tell you something, right? It is natural to be nervous in any single playoff situation, but I feel like you're nervous about this game because you're looking at week 4. And there's a couple of things that I want you to realize, and these are absolute facts. This Buffalo Bills team, when they played the Baltimore Ravens, they were missing out on Terrell Bernard and Matt Milano. So we had Morrow and we had Balin Spector out as our linebackers. Taron Johnson was also out. We had Cam Lewis. So Cam Lewis was tasked at stopping Zay Flowers. Those linebackers, Spector and Morrow, were tasked in potentially tackling Derrick Henry in the backfield once he ended up getting to that second level. All right. We lost that matchup before the game even began. We were without Taylor Rapp as well. While there's still some things to be left desired as far as his pass coverage, he is absolutely deadly at run defense. He's our best safety out there when it comes into run defense. So all of those guys were gone, right? Also, we did not have the rotational depth in the interior defensive line with Jordan Phillips and Quentin Jefferson, who have been saviors for this Buffalo Bills team into at least slightly improving our overall run defense. I'm not saying that we're going to hold Derrick Henry to 40, 50 yards on Sunday, but I think it's absolutely realistic where we have made enough improvements with the health of the players that are out there defensively that we could hold him to about 80 to 90, which I think is very reasonable, telling based off of everybody that we were missing, right? Something to consider there. And then offensively, this is also something I want to point out to you that I'm hoping gives you at least a little bit of confidence, or it tapers your overall worries going into Sunday. Regardless of what I say, everyone's going to be worried. I'm going to be worried. It's the playoffs, right? It is the playoffs. This Buffalo Bills team has lost the divisional round 3 straight years. There's always something in the back of my mind where I'm like, okay, when is this going to happen again? But offensively, look at it from this perspective. We had Josh Allen with a broken left hand, meaning that he had no business, had no interest in utilizing his legs during that first matchup because he didn't want to hurt himself and potentially put him out for a couple of games for this Buffalo Bills team. So he was limited in that category, and he can run against this defense. Trust me. He's basically a defensive end. He's not afraid to get hit. Okay. We had James Cook that was playing through a turf toe injury as well. So something to consider there. He was playing through a turf toe injury that he suffered against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So he wasn't at full capacity. Shakir was playing on a sprained ankle for about 2 quarters of that game. Actually, I want to say about 2.5 quarters during that game. And that was before we ultimately had Amari Cooper on the team that was essentially going to be played as a distraction. Now, Marlon Humphrey has been playing very solidly when it comes into the Baltimore Ravens this year. But what I think is going to happen is that we are going to lock up Marlon Humphrey with Amari Cooper. He is going to be the distraction. And if, for example, they want Marlon Humphrey to go on ahead and move around, then congratulations, we have Amari Cooper that's going to be wide open. We have thrown a touchdown pass to 14 different players, 15 now, I believe, broke an NFL record, which tells you this. And I know a lot of us got so sick of it this offseason because we didn't believe that it was going to work, the whole notion of everybody eats. It works. How many games have we seen a different random player lead this team in receiving yards? I think that our receiving team, a healthy James Cook, a healthy Josh Allen with a fully healed hand, now with Amari Cooper, now with all of our defensive players coming back, don't look at that Buffalo Bills team that went into Baltimore on week 4 and make the mistake of thinking that this is the exact same team, because it is the furthest thing when it comes into it. So what should get you confidence, or what should bring you confidence, is that, sure, there's questions of whether or not that this defense can slow down Lamar Jackson. However, one thing that you should be confident in is that this offense is as healthy as humanly possible, and they are going to be out there fully healthy, and they're not being held to 10 points. I can promise you that, barring any serious injury. Knock on wood. I don't want an injury on either one of these teams. I want it to be fully stacked, and I don't want there to be any excuses at all. So if you are worried about our defense, have no fear. This Buffalo Bills team is fully capable of going against this Baltimore Ravens defense and putting up 30, 35, 40 points. All we need from our defense is to be slightly better than they were last game. And while this Baltimore Ravens team put up 35 points, we have proven that we can put up 40, that we can put up 50, and we also take the ball away, right? Like, we average a turnover at least once a game, and as long as Joe Brady is in his bag and he's putting everything together, this game's going to be a hell of a lot close. It's an entirely different squad, so do me a favor and attempt to talk yourself off of the ledge, because right now, when this Buffalo Bills team is at its full capacity, at the end of the day, they can beat anybody. We put up 30 points against the Kansas City Chiefs, the only team to put up 30 points against the Kansas City Chiefs when they had their starters out there all season. All right? Like, we went shot for shot with the best team in the NFL, arguably, with the Detroit Lions, beat them. Shot for shot with the LA Rams, a defense that made Sam Darnold look like an absolute bum last night. So, I'm fine if people are worried about stopping the Baltimore Ravens offense, but I don't want you guys to be worried about our offense not rising to the occasion in front of our home crowd when Ryan Fitzpatrick is the legend of the game. Make no mistake there. Sometimes the best defense is a damn good offense, right? Am I right, brother? Matt Milano is way more productive than Von Miller. I wouldn't even say that. Listen, I feel like a lot of people are obsessed with the sexy stats. You know what I'm saying? Sexy stats meaning sacks, right? Now, it's funny because sacks weren't even like recorded until like 1977. This is still relatively new in the scheme of the NFL. But the Buffalo Bills, Von Miller included, had an incredible game against the Denver Broncos. They pressured Bo Nix 53% of the time, the most that he had seen all year. And that wasn't against an absolute bum offensive line over in Denver. Like, they have been top 3 in pass protection for about vast majority of the season. So I wouldn't count Vaughn. Like, he's definitely no Von Miller from like 4 or 5 years ago, but he's getting his pressures. He's just not getting home. He's not getting home specifically. He's been playing well. He really has. It's going to be a snow game against the Ravens, so we really need to gotta stop the run. Listen, so they need to stop us as well, because let me tell you what. There was also another snow game that occurred a couple of weeks ago against the San Francisco 49ers, and Josh Allen was absolutely heaving passes all over the place. He played in Wyoming growing up. And I don't want to hear anything where people are like, oh my God, it's Baltimore, man. They are also used to the cold. Trust me. Buffalo winter weather is an entire different animal, ladies and gents. Buffalo winter weather is an entire different animal. And we have proven that we could ultimately end up competing with anybody. You're not going to be able to stop Derrick Henry. So here's the thing, dude. I think that we are. I really think that we are. Like, not stop him entirely, but say, for example, that we could hold him to like 80 to 90 yards. That is entirely reasonable. What we're going to do is that we finally have a healthy defense, but that's not even like half of the point as into why I'm feeling confident about this game. Why I'm feeling confident about this game is that this Bills team is averaging a takeaway each and every single game that we play, and this Buffalo Bills offense is healthy. So anybody that doesn't think that this Buffalo Bills offense is not about to go shot for shot with this team, I just think you're absolutely nuts. What's good, Dan? So we the underdog for this game. That should give us motivation. We need to play gold line defense to stop Derrick Henry for running. Let's go Buffalo. Last time I checked, I saw that it was a pick 'em at one point, and I saw that we were -1 favorites. I'm not sure if they ultimately ended up giving the favorite nod over to the Baltimore Ravens, but like, what's motivation right now? So I'll tell you what, I want to talk Buffalo Bills. I'm going to tell you, my friend. The biggest motivation for this game is hands down the fact that we have a Buffalo Bills roster that remembers week 4. We have a Buffalo Bills roster that feels disrespected for Pro Bowl honors, for all pro honors. And they're looking at a team that has over 9 to 10 of those overall players. They're looking at a roster that a lot of the narratives are spinning right now that the Buffalo Bills have no shot, not a shot in the gun range of defeating them. This Buffalo Bills team is looking at this squad and they're just like, okay, so Lamar Jackson, he got first team all pro after what Josh Allen has been able to do with a significantly lesser roster. All the motivation is there for the Buffalo Bills. I promise you that Josh Allen, as he is preparing for this game, his blood is boiling. His blood is absolutely boiling. And if you think that he's not about to go out there and put on a masterclass, you are absolutely bonkers right now, folks. Absolutely bonkers. Trust me, this team has all the motivation in the world. We are in front of a home crowd, and Josh Allen remembers. I don't care what he says to the media. I don't. He is a human. He is a human being. He's probably one of the biggest competitors on the face of the planet, hence why he was named the biggest trash talker in the NFL. I promise you that that man is going to be on his P's and Q's. That man is going to be on his P's and Q's, ladies and gentlemen. I can promise you that. Grayson, they are giving -1 to Baltimore, even better. I am afraid that it'll turn out like our Rams game, Jorge. Well, so I'll tell you what, man, we had a lot of injuries during that game as well. So not particularly something that I would worry about. Yeah, that's for a reason. Ravens are greater than the Buffalo Bills. Well, maybe the Ravens are better than our practice squad defense. And when Josh Allen has a broken hand, and when James Cook's playing with turf toe, and with Khalil Shakir is playing with a sprained ankle, 110%, I would definitely agree with you there. But like, here's the deal, man. We are going to see exactly who is the better team on Sunday. We are. Is what it is. Is what it is. We're not going to have answers until it is all said and done. We are going to expose them all too. TR, that's my guy, baby. That's my guy coming on in here, man. I needed that. Dan, how did you become a Bills fan? You've always been in Florida. Joel, I was born in Buffalo. I was born in South Buffalo. I lived in a little suburb called Hamburg until I was 13 years old. And then my family moved me down south when I was 14. So I was born in Buffalo. All my family's still a Bills fan. So it's in my roots, baby. It's in my roots. Ravens Nation been talking a lot of crap. I know they have. I've been said Eagles versus Bills Super Bowl. Look at that, baby. Watch out for the Rams, though. Like, watch out for the Rams. I haven't really dove into the numbers, and I haven't, like, listed my pick yet. Something about me wants to pick the Rams next week. Something about me wants to pick the Rams next. I'm sorry if you're an Eagles fan. I haven't made my choice yet, but give me a second. Our winters are the worst of the worst, and no other team can compare playing in unless you are from here. Absolutely. Katie Robertson. Josh wants that revenge game bad. Absolutely. There's just so much on the table. They have the spread dead even right now in Vegas. The general public is betting heavy on the Ravens. That's why the line has moved. And remember, guys, Vegas never loses. Vegas never loses. Like I said, Josh is activating GOAT mode. Dude, there is nothing about me that is ever going to bet against Josh Allen from not having an absolute instant classic performance in the playoffs. It happens every single year. A game this big, there's no way that he doesn't ultimately end up showing out and just being an absolute animal. Last game we played Henry, he had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. He certainly did. A lot of that had to do with that first run in the first quarter where he busted off about 80, right? So really, say, for example, you were to take that away and we didn't have Spector and Morrow, who are no longer on this roster in the first place, right? Well, one's on IR and one's no longer on the roster by itself. I think it's kind of silly not to consider that more than likely we're not going to allow 200 yards on the ground again. when we were missing 4 of our most important defensive pieces on this roster, right? Bernard, Milano, and Taylor Rapp at that third level. Those 3 are so imperative into stopping the run once it gets past the line of scrimmage. So when you look at how Derrick Henry has performed against Sean McDermott defenses, out of all of those games where we have held him to 50, 40, 60, etc., we have had more impressive performances against Derrick Henry than Derrick Henry has had against the Buffalo Bills his entire career. It's just a fact, is what it is. Of course, 200 yards is very impressive, but I just think it's silly that people think that he's automatically going to run for 200 yards when we have a fully stout, stacked run defense ready to go. So, is what it is. Is what it is. Me personally, I am taking the under on Derrick Henry rushing yards. Josh wore an FEA hoodie. Bills ball fans should be very afraid. What does FEA stand for? Wow, I sound like a casual, bro. I am such an unk, dude. I am such an unk, bro. So what happens if we get smoked at home? Who are we going to put the blame on? It's not going to happen. So we're going to win. It's not going to happen. We'll make it happen. We will have that discussion in an alternate reality because it's not happening. If they stop Henry, so Lamar will fold by the end of the game. So one thing this defensive line has actually been doing very well, and one thing that they have done well against Lamar is really being able to box him into the pocket. Sean McDermott defensive lines are very, very good at boxing him into the pocket, not necessarily allowing him to easily roll right or roll left. They have done that quite a bit. Obviously, you do need a fully stacked and fully healthy defense, but I'm just looking at Sean McDermott's full resume against Lamar Jackson. I'm not just comparing this year, especially since I'm considering this to be an anomaly based off of all of the very key players that were out there. Sarah, Shakir went out early. He was also playing with a sprained ankle. So we had nobody, right? Like we had Curtis Samuel and Keon Coleman, who was still a rookie. He had a touchdown, which was great. But now we have Amari Cooper. And whether or not that Amari Cooper is going to be a leading receiver for us on Sunday, he's a distraction. Like this Baltimore Ravens team needs to have an answer for Amari Cooper, right? If they don't, then he's going to eat. And what Amari Cooper is going to do is he is going to shift responsibilities. Lesser corners are going to be asked to cover Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, and Khalil Shakir. And also James Cook out of the backfield as well. With the exception of the Bungles loss, every single team we've made the playoffs, our defense has let us down. So the next 3 games rest solely on our D stepping up. I mean, yeah, dude, listen, when you ultimately end up looking at our defensive gaffes in the playoffs, yes, our defense was piss poor against the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Last year. But let's also remember that we did not have Milano and we did not have Bernard. And I want to say that we had one other defensive player, which was out during that game. This year, we quite literally have no excuse. We quite literally have no excuse at all because we are at a full bill of health walking into this game. So hence why I'm not seeing this Baltimore Ravens team marching down the field and pummeling us like they did on week 4. Like we are 2 different teams, man. Like we are 2 different teams. Is what it is. Like, look at this, man. Like there's so many differences of what an NFL team looks like from the beginning of the season and then also going into the later half of the season. I do want to remind everybody that the New Orleans Saints were 2-0 and leading the league in the vast majority of offensive metrics at the beginning of the season, right? Is what it is. A few years ago, the Jacksonville Jaguars were 8-2 and finished like 9 and whatever, or like 10 or whatever. Each and every single team has evolved. And I think this Buffalo Bills team has just been way more impressive, essentially based off of having the lesser roster. Allen is in God mode as it's the playoffs, and he is the best quarterback in the playoffs marquee. If Allen wants revenge, he has to see Hurts in the Super Bowl. Look at that. Blake, your misery of 0 rings is my joy. I'm joyful in life. Thanks, Bills. What's up, Dan? I believe it's going to be 18 degrees this Sunday, possibly some snow. Let's go, Buffalo. Good. Make it freezing. make it snowy, make the whole thing, because you know what? Snow translates into turnovers. I cannot wait. Chris Haynes, who can be that? Derwin was in the playoffs versus Lamar. That athlete that can chase him and contain him. Who's our guy that can do that? I'm going to have to go with Matt Milano. So everybody is still pulling up that clip about how he ended up getting juked by Lamar like a few years ago. That's just one snap, dude. Like, that's just one snap. What's up, Dan? Bills Revenge Tour begins Sunday night. All narratives are put to rest. Beating Ravens, then going to Arrowhead to beat Kansas City, then payback on Rams in the Super Bowl. That would be epic. So you're calling for the Rams to make the Super Bowl. That would be interesting. To win this game, we got to do what we did against the Lions, which force early punts and score because of those punts. Yeah, dude, listen, man. If we need to go on ahead and just get like a solid cushion offense, all I'm asking for, all right, listen, honestly, all I'm asking for is this Buffalo Bills defense so to get us 2 or 3 early stops. I'm fine if Baltimore just like makes crazy adjustments and just goes off in the third quarter. Give me a 2-score cushion. Give me a 2-score cushion. I'm fine if Baltimore wakes up and they start pounding our defense later on in the game. But as long as we do what we did against the Detroit Lions and we just take advantage of every single opportunity, and yes, you're damn right, I want to defer. Once we ultimately end up taking the coin toss, I want this Buffalo Bills team to defer, and I want an opportunity to double dip each and every single time. No questions asked. No bones about it. Let me see. Dan Mitchell, BC, what's going on? Dan, and did you play football in school? I was a baseball player, my friend, and so I did play foosball when I was a kid. But yeah, man, I was a baseball player, a year-round baseball player. I threw piss missiles. I threw gas, my guy. Shout out to South Buffalo. How you doing? John Elway said that he regrets not drafting Josh Allen in 2018. He said it a million times, and I agree with him. Dan, and do you think the issues with the run defense are overhyped? We have not allowed a 100-yard rusher since Jonathan Taylor. Yes, I have been. I have been an advocate for that. Because honestly, I think that this Buffalo Bills team just likes to pick their poison. And so I think that if we're going up against a team that has some like very deadly wide receivers or pass catchers, that we almost open up for these teams to run the football. I don't think that the play here is to entirely focus on Derrick Henry. I think that what we need to do is really just trust our front seven to make their tackles. And I trust this front seven a hell of a lot more than I did against week 4, like when we were rolling out Balin Spector and Morrow in replacement of Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard. I want to trust our front seven to make the tackles when necessary. I do want to dial up some blitz packages. And I really want our DBs to be on their P's and Q's. I want our DBs to be on their P's and Q's. Do whatever we can. Don't commit to the run. I have a feeling that if we commit to the run, then we lose. I think we commit to stopping the pass game. And we allow Josh Allen to go out there and just lead that offense into an absolute scoring machine. Every single time we touch the football, score points each and every single time. Fuck field goals, touchdowns. In fact, you know what? I think that's my game plan right there. Commit to the pass. Trust your front seven to make their tackles. That's all I got to say. Commit to the pass. I think that's a hell of a game plan, if you were to ask me, because I think this offense is about to be going off. I told everyone in here before the Broncos game that Dawson Knox over 11.5 yards was the easiest bet of the week. I love it. Super chat, first super chat of the game. Thank you so much. Hey, Dan, how can the defense prevent Henry and Jackson from getting chunks of yards? And do we put 2 extra linebackers in the box or even corners? No, Scott, here's my deal. If I was the defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, what I am doing is I am not doing anything special to commit to stopping the run at all. What I am doing is that I am locked in on taking away each and every single passing opportunity that the Baltimore Ravens have. I am taking away everything. I am having Benford and Rasul Douglas. I am having Taron Johnson. Shit. I would run dime packages out there and get an extra DB if necessary, right? And I am trusting Our defensive line, who has gotten a hell of a lot better in weeks past in being able to at least contain the run, limit the run, to have the responsibility after the fact. If we commit to the run, then Lamar Jackson is going to carve us up. So what I say is we commit to the pass. And we make sure that our offense rolls out there and we be as efficient as we were against the Detroit Lions, as the Kansas City Chiefs, as the LA Rams. Although that we lost that game, we were so wildly efficient offensively. And we just do that. And we go and we hope for some turnovers, which is Buffalo Bills team does almost every single game that I remember. Of course, outside of the Rams game. And we get them that way. All I need for this Buffalo Bills defense is to give me 3 stops all game. That's it. 3. Give me 3. As long as this Buffalo Bills offense, which I am very confident going into this game that they are going to score. I really, really do. I think this team is going to be able to score bar none. Shout out to Scott for the super chat, man. I really appreciate you for coming in. Let's see. Henry is going to have at least 40-plus yard runs, stiff arm Milano into the stands. I am completely fine with that if that is the case, but as long as we hold them to about 80 to 90, then that is something that I feel we could be fine. You ran dime last time. That's why you lost. You flood the field with DBs, and Henry had his way. I wouldn't advise that strategy. We didn't run dime because that was our strategy. We ran dime because Spector and Morrow, our linebackers, were absolute liabilities out there in the first place. We didn't want any of those dudes out there. This time running dime is going to be a tad interesting. So Lamar Jackson is just slightly better version of Tyrod Taylor. Nah. And so Lamar is good. Close them holes, lock down Henry. Don't get started till he gets past the front 4. Dude, listen, here's the deal. Like us having our starting linebackers back for this game, that is who I need to step up the most out of anybody on this team. And I have confidence that they are going to be able to contain it. Stop them entirely? Absolutely not. Who in the hell is going to stop Derrick Henry entirely? It's just not happening. But what I do want to do is I want to trust our front 7 without having to stack the box. I want to trust our front 7. I think that we need to give them that responsibility. It's basically what I think that we need. That's basically what I think we got to do, folks. It's basically what I think that we have to do. Chef up the north. So at Baltimore, we'll run the ball 70% of the time, and our defense has to step up. We certainly do, but here's the most important thing, guys. Listen, this offense is a star-studded roster. Like, they have 9 Pro Bowlers all across the damn field. So I think anybody trying to conspire about, hey, like, our defense really needs to step up. If we're being serious, we need to have a performance like the Buffalo Bills had against the Detroit Lions offensively. That's what's going to win us this game, folks. That is what's going to win us this game, is Joe Brady going out there and planning an absolute masterclass. That's precisely what we need to look for. Offense needs to win this game for us. And you know what? I like who we have in our corner offensively. I do. So we have a quarterback who has defied all odds. Everybody all season has been trying to tell us that since we lost Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, that we would be lucky to win 8 games. So we have a running back that was playing through a turf toe injury on week 4 during that loss. He's fully healthy. We have Khalil Shakir. He's fully healthy. So dude is playing with a sprained ankle. Now we have Amari Cooper, who needs to be accounted for. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. And what makes it even more important is that defensive coordinators have no idea what to do with the Buffalo Bills from the passing game perspective, because they don't know who is going to be Josh Allen's favorite target that game. They don't. They don't know who Josh Allen is going to favor in targets. Like, we know who Lamar Jackson is going to favor out there, right? Like, Zay Flowers is probably going to be back, but is he going to be at 100%? I feel like that's a question for conversation. Is Bateman going to be his number 1 target? It's probably going to be Bateman, Mark Andrews, and Isaiah Likely. I think all those 3 are probably about to be his dudes right there. Nobody spreads the ball around more than the Buffalo Bills, and I see challenges for the defensive coordinator over in Baltimore. So, yes, I feel like everyone has the right to be worried to an extent. I feel like everyone has a right to be worried about the defense, but I feel like we're looking at this all wrong. What truly needs to happen is that this Buffalo Bills team needs to go out there and clap defensive cheeks. It's what it is. Like, we need to be a unit, and all we need from our Buffalo Bills defense is 3 stops all game. That's it. 3. Maybe a turnover. 3 stops, 3 punts forced, and a turnover in downs. Grab us a 10-point cushion, a 14-point cushion, and just keep going. We can't afford a first quarter lull, right? So we can't afford like one of those games where Buffalo goes out there and offensively we start slow, but then we ultimately end up turning it up in the third quarter. Like, we need to be perfect. Like, think about that. Remember the Titans speech, right? You drop a ball, you run a mile. I want perfection. That's what we need offensively. 0 questions asked. Precisely what we're looking for right now. So with any D-bag Ravens fans in the chat today, I'm sure that there's a couple, but there's also a lot of cool Ravens fans that come on in here. Listen, I don't have beef with every single Ravens fan. It's just those children who are tough behind an iPad while wearing their SpongeBob t-shirt. Need assigned players to rush Lamar and Henry so no errors or wrong tackles are made in option runs. Lamar will make 3 mistakes. Knock out 87. They think Flowers will be back. He probably will, but here's the thing. Will he be at 100%? Like, that's the question. Will he be at 100%? And especially in those conditions, would they even want to potentially risk Zay Flowers if they are that confident about this game in conditions such as that, if they ultimately end up going into the AFC Championship with that in their mind? I think we need to watch out for the trick plays like they pulled against the Steelers. What are your feelings toward the refs, Dan? That's actually a really good question. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Ref assignments. NFL. Let's see. Football Zebras. Let's see who it is. Ladies and gentlemen. Martin, Tobert, Smith, Sheffers are the... Okay. Talk to me. Who's coming in? Martin, Tobert. Hey, dude, this is actually very good content. Okay? This is actually very good content. Okay? Let's go ahead and check this out. Martin, Tobert, Smith. Martin, Tobert, Smith, Sheffers are that. Houston, Kansas City, LA. We have Carl Sheffers is going to be the referee for the Buffalo Bills. Now, what I want to do is penalties. NFL penalties. Sheffers is his name, ladies and gents. Let's take a look. Regular season. Talk to me about the ref, though. Let me see the menu. By penalty, referees. Let's check out this guy. Sheffers is our guy. Carl Sheffers. Let's see what we did. All right. Let's see what he looked like in 2024. When did he ref a Buffalo Bills game? I don't think he did ref a Buffalo Bills game this year. Let me double check. Minnesota, Green Bay, Kansas City, Houston, Denver, Indianapolis, Philadelphia, Carolina, New York Jets, Seattle, LA Chargers, Baltimore. So he did ref the Baltimore game, Chargers. So something interesting there. He threw 16 penalties. 16 penalties against Baltimore. Or in total, excuse me. 9 penalties on Baltimore during that game. 102 yards. So his team threw 9 penalties against Baltimore for 102 yards. And let me see what was the penalties that came into that. So the Ravens ended up winning 30-23 against the Chargers on this game, but I'm curious to see who ultimately ended up getting all of this. Okay. So he was He was pretty crazy with Baltimore during this game. So something to think about, guys. We are unpacking the ref of who is going to be getting this game, folks. Some pretty interesting situations here. Okay. Baltimore, unnecessary roughness, and that was on Ricard for the first quarter. Had unnecessary roughness against Wiggins, illegal formation, unnamed for the second quarter. Had offensive holding for Makari, defensive pass interference for Trey White. Yeah, defensive pass interference for Marlon Humphrey in the fourth quarter. Offensive holding, Lindebaum. Defensive offside, defensive pass interference. So Humphrey got 2 pass interferences during that game. So he's flag happy with pass interference. So let's think about what Josh Allen likes to do. He likes to test it and throw downfield. Don't be surprised if he goes out there and he tries to target Marlon Humphrey deep downfield to try and draw a pass interference. That's something I genuinely believe that he would do. And that, yeah, like 3 defensive pass interferences, 4 defensive pass interferences. Wow. Something about this game plan makes things very interesting. Let me see. Sean, as a Bills fan, and are you viewing this game as the de facto AFC championship game if you win? And do you think it's smooth sailing to the Super Bowl right through Arrowhead? Sean, you know what? It's very difficult. It's very difficult to say that about the Kansas City Chiefs. Because even Baltimore Ravens fans in here, I think that we can all agree that we all share the same hatred for the Kansas City Chiefs, right? And so Ravens fans, talk to me. I feel like that we both share the same hatred for the Kansas City Chiefs. I feel like we do. It's very difficult for me. It's still very difficult for me to count Kansas City out. Because I counted Kansas City out last year. And they went absolutely insane in the playoffs. And let's not forget that week 17 game when Kansas City just popped up out of nowhere, quote unquote, and put up 30 points. I think they might have been fucking with us. I feel like they might have been fucking with us all season long. Crazy stuff. We have Matt coming in saying great content. And anyone who ever disagrees sits on the TV and watches the couch. Love us some Dan in Kentucky. Go Bills. Matt Schrader, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, bro. I can't wait to Matt Collins to be trolling the Ravens all game. Willie, so we didn't come this far and to get our ass kicked in the playoffs by Ravens or Kansas City. Not this year. We come for the trophy. Josh Allen is not having this shit this year. I like that. Chiefs are the team until somebody beats them. Absolutely. I totally agree. Baltimore had 8 playoff teams on their schedule. We only had 3. Knocked out 87. Absolutely sane. Just have a dud against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's not the Buffalo Bills' fault. Eric, it's a sad, sad state of affairs when we have to break down the ref ball. And it is that bad. Yeah, nah, dude, for real, man. Like this. So like it or not, like this actually plays a massive fact, like right into this game. So something to really take a look at, folks. Something to really, really take a look at right here. In fact, I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to email this to myself because obviously your boy is going to make a TikTok on this because TikTok is only going to be here for a little bit longer. Makes me sad, ladies and gentlemen, because I just cracked 100,000 followers on TikTok and it's gone. Is what it is. I'm still on Instagram and I still have my people over on YouTube and I'm still on X, ladies and gents, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep on making short form content, whether you guys like it or not. Mike Green named 5 playoff teams y'all played. Man, Bill is a finesse team that they are not rugged, bro. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I will tell you what. I really hope that your confidence does not disappoint you. Broncos fan here. And so I looked on my feed on Facebook from the AFC West and somebody had to post something stupid about my team. What did they say, man? Congrats on 100,000, by the way. Thank you so much. I'm confident that the Chiefs' Death Star will be quite operational come Sunday. Absolutely. So we're going to watch Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid go out there and like hang like 40 points on Houston. And that defense is solid too. Like we know that Andy Reid's that dude. He's been fucking with us all season. He's been winning ugly. And watch that guy just go off and just punch the Houston Texans in the mouth. And did the Ravens blow out the Buffalo Bills? But so here's the thing, Social Dilemma podcast. It's great, but like I feel like we should also remember, okay, that the Saints were the best offensive team in all of football through the first 2 weeks of the season. And I also think that we should remember that so the Buffalo Bills had 5 defensive starters out. I also think that we should remember that Josh Allen had a broken left hand that made him not want to run the football. So to sacrifice him potentially being out. We had James Cook with a turf toe and Shakir, who was our only wide receiver at the time, had a sprained ankle. So like you can say that it's excuses. It's not excuses. It's reasons, right? As into why this game is not going to be the same on week 4. Because we all understand that some teams start hot at the beginning of the season and they go through their lulls. But at the end of the day, if you think that this game is going to be anything similar to week 4, man, you are going to be one stressed out individual watching that game. I promise you, you are about to be sweating. Chiefs should be the Super Bowl favorite until they are eliminated. I won't listen to other takes about it. Shakir left the game early, damn it. Yep, absolutely. Social, how many times Lamar beat Allen in the playoffs? Joey H, I think Josh Allen will run the ball more. Cook won't be effective. See, the thing is, Joey, is that I said the exact same thing about the Denver Broncos game, right? And there's been so many run defenses this year where I'm saying, no, I don't see a good run game from James Cook. But honestly, man, I think we need to start having a conversation that next year, it might be James Cook's year for like being one of those dudes out there, like as a running back. He has been scorched earth for the back half of this season, and he has embarrassed quote unquote top 5 run defenses several times this year already. So I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to make the take that James Cook is not going to be a part of the game plan on the ground. Like Denver so the Ravens have an absolutely wonderful run defense, but I feel like there's been so many situations where I was saying, nah, with James Cook, he's not going to be able to do anything, but then he pops off 100+ yards. It's nuts. With Epinesa has been a little quiet. Hopefully this game he steps up. Exactly, Joshua. Allen and Jackson are 2 best quarterbacks in the league, in my opinion, and you can be a fan of either or, but can't deny the greatness of both. Go Bills. Go Bills. And did you see that one Ravens reporter called Buffalo a city of losers? Yeah, that was like 3 years ago, I think. Keith, is that guy who got the way too small red overcoat in the room with you right now? He is not in the room with me right now. All I have is Bob right here. Bob is my teammate over here. So say, for example, that I get stressed out while watching Buffalo Bills football. I punch the hell out of Bob right behind me. And people like it. Yeah, like they definitely find it entertaining. So was one of the best investments I have made for this channel, bar none. Have no question there. It's a reason Bills never won a championship. Poop eaters, man. Dude, look at them dusty ass kicks, bro. Look at those dusty ass kicks. Get yourself some new shoes, man. Get yourself some new shoes. Those are damn embarrassing, my bro. What the hell are those? Like knockoff Vans, bro? Like what the hell are those? Skechers? So homie's in here talking shit wearing Skechers right now, ladies and gentlemen. He's talking shit wearing them dusty ass Vans, bro. Get your kicks game up, brother. Get your kicks game up before you come in here trying to call us shit eaters, all right? All right, bro? And so you can tell a lot about a man about his shoes, all right? Get those dusty ass. Actually, you know what those probably are? Those are probably Heelys, fool. Those are probably Heelys because we know right now that you're wearing a Dragon Ball Z t-shirt and you're munching on some Feastables right now, giggling at your iPad. In fact, I wouldn't even say you have an iPad. Your fool ass has a tablet, all right? You got a tablet, my friend. You probably fly Spirit too with your dusty ass kicks. Don't be coming up in here until you get your own house in order. Brandon to brand, all right? Work on the brand. Update your damn dusty ass kicks for me, okay? Thank you so much. I'm happy we beat Denver. Thank you so much. Aaron, no, it's not. My main fear is that Bass is going to Bass. He's been solid so far this year. He really, really has. He's been solid so far. An Amazon tablet. He has an Amazon tablet, and he's sitting there talking shit with his dusty ass kicks, man. That's precisely what it was in mom's basement on a Chromebook. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. He's planning a trip. He's flying Spirit, too. I bet you flies Spirit. Ravens fan for life 716 flies Spirit as well. He flies Spirit as well. Corny ass the brand. Brandon, I just want to let you know that this is all for the show. Love you very much. Thank you so much for showing support. Don't take anything I say personally. It's just a joke. I'm glad you're in here. I really, really am. I really, really am. I'm hoping Ravens fans grow to like me eventually. That's my goal. I'm hoping that after we ultimately end up beating them, that afterwards they enjoy my offseason content where I start breaking down all of the prospects that I'm looking for during the offseason. I will be at the Senior Bowl. That's super exciting. And I will be at the Super Bowl as well, covering the Super Bowl. Absolutely excited, man. I'm going to be asking Josh Allen so many questions up there. I'm just kidding. Tony's coming in saying, Dad, you're a cool guy. Thank you so much. You're a cool guy, Tony. I appreciate you, bro. He's a hater. His team didn't make it. That's why he's talking S. I can't wait until Sunday. Damn, how convenient, but no need to speculate. They play in 5 days. We will soon know enough. But speculation is I would say, the most entertaining about the process. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? You are cooked next Sunday, buddy. Do not call your elders buddy, Maddox. Don't call your elders buddy, my friend. I could probably be your father. And if you keep it up, I will make it my life's mission to become your stepfather, Maddox. Okay? I will make it my life mission to become your stepfather, all right? You don't want that. All right? You don't want that, bro. I transition your room into the closet, hallway closet, brother. Chiefs fans in here. This is between Ravens and Bills fans right now, Maddox. Why do Chiefs fans always need to make it about them? And so am I right? Like, why do Chiefs fans always got to make everything about them? Bro, let us have our conversation and discourse, okay? For the love of God, bro. Chiefs fans always up in here trying to make it about them, all right? Relax, fool. Dude, listen, Maddox, it doesn't matter who is playing you next week. You're getting that ass cut. It doesn't matter if it's the Ravens or the Bills. The Chiefs are getting their ass cut. Foot in ass. So enjoy your divisional win against the Houston Texans. It doesn't matter who plays you in the AFC Championship. It will be foot inserted in ass, regardless of the outcome. So relax. Relax, Maddox. Damn. What's up, Mel? Hope all is well. Let me see. Yeah. F out of here, Kansas City. So nobody's even talking crap about you. And you're getting us respect. Get out of here. I hate the Chiefs. Go Ravens. See, me and Joey can agree on something. All right. Chiefs fans are also cool and smart. And with everyone knows it and loves the Kansas City Chiefs. He's in here. All right. So with Benford looked a little off against Denver. He was good. Dan, is Sam Darnold really going back to the Jets? I haven't heard anything. It's probably just rumors. I wouldn't take anything you see seriously, especially with all these NFL rumors like moving around. So I can see Josh being Lamar's dad, giving Lamar ice cream. Look at that. Pez is coming in. Congratulations, bro. And congratulations on the Super Bowl credentials. Happy for you. Go Bills. Thank you so much, man. I'm very excited to go. It's going to be the first time I've ever been to a Super Bowl before, but so I have to work it, but that's still pretty cool. So that's still pretty cool, man. Look at that. Maddox is a Swiftie. Probably. I hate the Chiefs. Go Bills. Look at that, man. It's Bills and Ravens fans bonding over our hatred for the Chiefs. I love that. And so the flock has really gotten under my skin this year. Dan is saying Ravens streamers are also still in bed. Kevin is saying go Bills, feel confident that we'll come away with the win. Can't wait for Sunday. JJ, let's go Bills. Dan, have fun. Who's going to be talked about more? So Lamar or Darnold? I don't know, dude. I'm glad to see the continued success of Roundtable. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, dude. We've been working really hard. And so I would like to see the Bills knock off the Chiefs gladly. Ruben, are you a Ravens guy? Who are you, man? Dude, listen. So Ravens fans, make no mistake. So I'm still standing on business. And so I still think that the Buffalo Bills will beat you. Like right on Sunday. So I think it's going to be close, but I do think Buffalo wins. But make no mistake. If you do beat us, like we are hopping on your side and praying that you punch Patrick Mahomes in the teeth. Like make no mistake there. Like make no mistake there. All right? I hope that you guys would wish for the same. But make no mistake. Obviously, I'm still convinced that Buffalo is going to win because I like the matchup and I'm a biased fan. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. I'm biased as shit. I love my football team. But make no mistake. All we care about, if that does happen, is that we want you to punch the Kansas City Chiefs in the fucking teeth. Make no mistake there. Make no mistake there. Whoever wins this game on Sunday better beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't afford a three-peat. I cannot witness a three-peat. I cannot even witness another Kansas City Chiefs appearance in the Super Bowl. For the love of God. For the love of God, wouldn't that be ideal? Let me see. We have Jaro Harris. Yo, what's up, G? Bills 33-26. I love that, bro. I love that. And so I'm not ever rooting for the Ravens to win. They are insufferable. Rather a Mahomes three-peat. Interesting. It's not going to be close, by the way. And so it will be a high-scoring game, but Bills will get 30-plus points and Ravens will get 21. Ooh. Ruben's a 49ers guy. What's up, man? What's up, dude? Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Big Bills guy. Nah, Flock fans have been so disrespectful. F that. Go Bills. I love that. Where's my mind at? That's right, man. Sometimes I just need the homies to like talk me back off of a ledge and remind me who the fuck I am, dude. And so why are we talking hypotheticals? We already know what's about to happen. All right, guys. I love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. An hour-long stream. Pretty damn cool. Update on what to expect from the channel for the rest of the day. I'm going to be live on BetUS TV's The Huddle. If you guys are unaware of what that is, it is my daily NFL show from BetUS TV, the sports book that sponsors it. And it's me, Richie, and TD, and we discuss everything around the NFL. It's an NFL show. And then later this afternoon, I will be live again, 5:15 p.m. EST. I'm not particularly sure if I'm going to do like a full-scale preview and prediction. I'll probably save that for tomorrow afternoon. But we will certainly come up with a specific topic. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you later. Oh, by the way, Bills fans, I am giving away this Taron Johnson jersey, and I'm announcing the winner during my live play-by-play reaction against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday at halftime. If you are interested in entering into this sort of competition, what you need to do is just be a subscriber to this YouTube channel and leave a comment on this very video once I am all concluded and finished. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love y'all. See you soon.